I want to say good evening to everyone and welcome to the Town of Fairmount Heights Mayor and Town Council meeting for the month of July. Today is July 20th, the year 2022. If everyone would please stand, we please salute the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much. You may be seated. Had a long couple of days, you all, but we're here. We're here. Mrs. Tucker, would you please call the roll?
Mayor Martin.
Present.
Councilmember Waiters.
Present.
Councilmember Oscar.
Present.
Councilmember White.
Present.
Councilmember Barnhart.
Present.
And Councilmember Jackson.
Present.
And Councilmember Stewart.
Present. Thank you very much. All members are present. We're going to proceed down to a moment of silence, and on a day like today, I think we just have to be grateful and thanks for everything that we've been afforded throughout this year, and pray that we're going to receive that same special treatment as we finish out the year 2022. May we observe. All right, thank you all very much. We're going to proceed on down to our first report, which is our code enforcement
Madam Mayor,
report.
if I may,
Yes.
I'm sorry, before we proceed, we haven't approved the agenda, and I don't know if that's not a normal process about it. I'd like to amend the agenda before we proceed.
No, right? You may.
I'd like to amend the agenda to discuss, for the council to discuss Zoom and our communication practices moving forward, so that we're clear, so that there's no confusion as we move forward with how we're going to use Zoom. I want to discuss that on the agenda tonight. I also would like to add, and I don't see it on here, I received information, a letter. I understand it's supposed to be read into public record. I would like to read that into public record. It was presented to you, and you presented it to me. It came from Councilmember Akindua Waka.
Former.
Who?
Former.
They say once one, always one, but she does want to be referred to as Miss Akindua Waka, so I'll say Miss. Yeah. Former Miss Akindua Waka, and I hope the recording is going right here. Those are the two things that I
Okay,
like.
now do you want to add those to the agenda, or would you like to include that as part of your report?
I'll restate what I said. I want to amend the agenda to discuss, because it requires a decision, the communication process for us using Zoom moving forward. That's the first thing. The other thing is the email that I received once I got here, that was actually sent to you from Patricia Akindua Waka. And it has my name on it, so I'd like to have that added to the agenda to be read in public record for me to give my response. Because she asked that question the last time we were here, I believe it would go under old business. Because we've discussed the Zoom meetings before, I believe that would go under old business. And/or it can go under new. It doesn't matter to me, but I would like it on the agenda.
Okay, now as far as I had put the communications process on the old business. Now, are we gonna, what do you prefer? Would you prefer old business or new business?
The letter, the
Communication
email?
as far as the Zoom.
It's old business, Madam Mayor. We
Yeah,
discussed
I
it
put
before.
that under old business,
Where?
okay? So as far as the email,
Madam Mayor, when I speak of communication, I'm talking about Zoom.
I understand.
So-
I put that there.
But you referenced the letter, the email.
Yeah, which one? That's new business because it was just sent out, I think, yesterday. We can put that on the new, never mind. Okay. All right,
What, Mayor, I would also like to amend the agenda
okay.
to add the property at 1003 60th Avenue.
Okay, that would be on the new business.
What's the address again, council member?
1003 60th Avenue.
Okay.
Okay. All right, so we have 3 new agenda items. If you all, I'll accept a motion for approval of those 3 new agenda items.
So moved.
I get a second?
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, so we have 3 new agenda items. All right, we're gonna move on down. And, hello, good evening, Mr. Pinckney. Good evening. All right. And I'm gonna move down to Mr. Pinckney's report for code enforcement. Did everyone receive your copies? So you probably have them from work session. These are the copies. I read these into the record at work session, so you can still, okay, okay, all right.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening to the citizens, the mayor and the council of Fairmount Heights. We made a revision in the report. I took some advice from our liaison to try to formulate a new way to present my report. So that's it. The old one, we can probably discard that. But this report is from the date is July the 20th, 2022, to the mayor, council, and residents of the town of Fairmount Heights. It's the July Code Enforcement Report. For the month of July, there were 13 civil citations issued totaling $9,250. The town of Fairmount Heights has collected $1,000. The remaining $8,250 is pending, awaiting further action, i.e. court date and/or payments. Court judgments. The District Court of Maryland for Prince George's County awarded the town of Fairmount Heights 4 judgments on the affidavit totaling $2,000 plus the cost of evading the property at 1004 58th Avenue by the Public Works Department totaling $755. The District Court of Maryland for Prince George's County awarded the town of Fairmount Heights 4 judgments on the affidavit totaling $3,500. The judgments were awarded on behalf of our former police chief, Lieutenant Ivey, for fireworks violation in 2021. For the month of July, there were 3 building permits issued, totaling $541.86. For the month of July, we have renewed 3 business licenses, totaling $1,830. For corrective action notices for the month of July, we have issued 14 corrective action notices. Public Works Department cut the overgrown vegetation at 1004 58th Avenue, totaling $755, and we got the judgment today from the District Court of Maryland, along with the abatement for that. For the month of July, we have placed 3 stop work orders on various properties. And my miscellaneous is the property once owned by Mrs. Wong, located at 706 through 708 62nd Avenue, has been cleaned, and a temporary fence has been installed with no trespassing sign attached to the fence and security cameras on the building. Also, we had complaints about the truck parked at 714 60th Place. This is the picture of the truck and the car, and they have been removed But you know that, right? Okay, they've been removed.
Oh, great.
What is, I'm sorry.
And these are the pictures for, you can have that.
Okay.
For the, well, Ms. Wong was evicted on the 12th of July, last Tuesday, but they couldn't do anything with her belongings. They had to give her 72 hours, so they removed all her vehicles, all of her property and set it on the sidewalk. And then the owner, they took away everything on last Saturday and installed the new fencing. Okay. And if you look on the second page, this is a copy of the citations that were issued during the month of July. And for 1108 61st Avenue, it's for roof and gutters, it's for $1,000. For 708 62nd Avenue, that was the house, that was the property of Ms. Wong's before she had sold it. So when we went to court today, we couldn't get a judgment on that because she had moved and we couldn't find the new owner. And we have a violation at 5433 Sheriff Road for building permit required for a fence, and 804 58th Avenue for the structure is unfit. He came in day before yesterday and paid the fine of $1,000. And 802 61st Avenue is a citation for plant old growth in excess of $500. 5500 Jefferson Heights Drive, plant growth in excess of 10 inches for $500. 704 58th Avenue, that's one we just discussed when we got the award today for $500 for overgrown vegetation. 914 60th Avenue, plant growth in excess of 10 inches, $250. This was their first notice, so that's why it's $250 instead of the $500. And for 701 58th Avenue, building permit required, it was for $1,000. They removed the stop work order at 701 58th Avenue, and that was $500 for removing the stop work order. And for 5333 Sheriff Road, building permit was required, the fine was $1,000. And also for having a junkyard, that's Mr. Solomon's property on Sheriff Road. The total citations came to $9,250, and we received $1,000. That leaves the balance of $8,250. And the building permits were for solar panels for 726 60th Avenue for $98.58. For 914 60th Avenue, repairs, $316.36. And 5909 J Street, repairs for $127, making a total of $541.86. We have issued 2 rental licenses for 5523 K Street for $100, 5609 Cove Street for $100, making a total of $200. We have renewed the business licenses for Paul's Liquors at 513 Eastern Avenue for $1,100. Horizon Healthcare Chiropractic for $365. It's Dr. Allen at 601 Eastern Avenue for $365, making a total of $1,803. And that's basically it. Anybody have any questions?
Oh, man. That is wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Yes.
While we got him up there, do we want to talk about 60th Avenue?
1003.
Yeah, 1003.
Since that's on the agenda now, we'll talk about that then.
Okay,
I mean, you
Because he was
understand?
here.
Yeah.
Okay.
okay.
If you all want to, hey, look, it's all I did was put it on the agenda. If we want to do it now, we can get it out of the way. And Mr. Pinckney, in case you have
Okay.
other.
We received a request from the owners of the new property located at 1003 60th Avenue. They wanted to change the driveway from 60th Avenue to 61st Avenue. This is a picture of the rear of 1003 61st Avenue. It already has an apron. 60th Avenue is already congested. So I didn't see a problem with them using 61st Avenue as a driveway, but the address still will remain as 1003 58th Avenue. I mean, 1003 60th Avenue. Then the front of the house would be on 60th Avenue. They just want the driveway to come in off of 61st Avenue. And he sent a schematics. He's also going to send a rendering of the house where the garage is going to be and the dimensions of the house. That's basically it.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Were there any other questions concerning that? Because I wanted to make sure that the council was in sync with that, and can we get some feedback so we can move forward with that? Because the county has already granted their portion, and now they're just waiting for a response from us.
This is 60th Avenue here. This is 61st Avenue. We already have an apron coming through. This is the lot right here.
So this is the back of the house, that would be the front of the house. So we have all this is theirs, so they want the driveway to go.
Yeah, and also the opposite side of the street is already very congested, so.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Any discussion on that
One more
particular
thing.
property? Okay.
On Mrs. Wong's former property, I talked to the owners of the house right next door, Mr. Kevin Holly, and he came out today. He cut the grass, and she had a hammer on the property. He removed the hammer, and he boarded up the sliding glass door. I also talked to Mr. Spriggs this morning, the owner of 725 61st Avenue, and he mentioned that he has somebody that's going to cut the grass Saturday. And he has the owner of the house at 721, right next door to his house. While she was in the process of building a garage in the back, she dumped a lot of dirt in his driveway. And he's been trying to get in touch with her to remove the dirt, and then I think he's going to start some renovations of 725. Then that entire area will be, it'll be made to look better.
Yeah.
Because all these is bucking right up to Mrs. Wong's property. Since her property is fenced in there, 704 is clean, and we get 725 clean. And I told him, you know, if it doesn't happen, then we will have to start issuing them fines every 60 days.
All right. All right.
You know,
Yes, please stay on top of that.
Okay. Sounds wonderful.
Thank you, Mr. Pink.
Thank you very much, Mr. Pink. So we still need to get the final agreement from the council as to whether we can move forward, because he needs to notify that particular purchaser for that property. If we don't get any other feedback from, I just want a yes or a no. Is everyone in agreement with that?
So that's all her property, all that one?
No, this is 1003 60th.
No, that's what I'm talking about. That's all that right there belongs to her, that homeowner? As far as the property? Okay.
It's developers, right now? Is it developers or somebody owns it?
Somebody purchased
I
it.
guess the developer there
Okay.
said they own the land, they bought the land, so they're going to develop it, they're going to put a house in it. And they just wanted to make sure that they could put the driveway on the back, when they finish their rendering.
I don't see an issue with it.
Okay.
So the
Yeah, but
whole lot,
everything
front and back,
else,
from
you do.
street to street is theirs.
It's real congested already.
Yeah, 60th Avenue has gotten to be very congested right down at that point. And then, being truthful about it, there is no way they can use that front at all. Because when the previous owners were there, they had to, the place just totally deteriorated. They couldn't even come in and out. They had to go squeeze through the back. And that's inhumane. So I just wanted to know the pleasure of the council, because he wants to be able to report back to the company that has purchased it if they can move forward, because the county has already approved it.
So what's the question? Are we allowing them to
Yes
put
or
a
no?
driveway in? Yes or no to the driveway?
Yes.
The apron is already there.
Right.
It's already
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to get it approved,
Yeah,
because if
yeah.
you don't, then,
Yeah.
if you don't, then there's some discussion
it's-
about
well-
that, either yes or no.
Yes, I'm saying yes, but
Okay.
I'm further saying that in terms of public property or public space, the apron is already there. So beyond that would be their installation, right? On private property, yes.
Okay. Councilmember Gilmore?
Yes.
Okay. Councilmember White?
Yes.
Councilmember Barnhart? Councilmember
Yes.
Wood Dodson?
Yes.
And Councilmember
Yes.
Stewart? Okay, and then I say yes. So yes, you can move forward with informing them, Mr. Pinckney.
Mr. Pickney, I have a
And-
question. Sorry, I thought you were done, Madam Mayor.
I'm finished.
I have a question after you.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and this may not be, it may be in the absence of public safety, I don't know, but there's a van and it's been parked there, if it's still, thank you. Yes, sir. Okay. Yeah, I called about it. It's been sitting there for like 3 weeks. I don't know why nobody reported
I think
it.
it was a work van, because I looked in the back of it.
It's been sitting, yeah.
It didn't have tubes, they had except a construction van, and they've taken all the tubes, so it's totally different. So I just put a sticker on it. I probably would call PD tomorrow, since within the hour, along here, whenever a police officer go out to have it towed.
Toad, okay.
Mr. Pinckney?
All right.
All right, but I don't have to, because I have pictures. I'm not gonna, if you've been around there, I'm not gonna send you the pictures that I have.
I'm sorry. How tall is this fence?
Like 6 feet.
6 feet? In the front? So,
It's just temporary.
okay. Okay.
What is the rules for fences in the front of your house? How tall?
4
could they be?
feet.
I think it's 4.
4
So-
feet?
Yeah.
So if anybody has a fence over 4 feet, what happens?
Recycle.
Okay.
See, in the past, we didn't have the manpower or the wherewithal to get somebody to take it down. If you know, we would take it down, if they did it illegally, we just would fine them, and the fence would stay. That's the same case with the household like you or.
Oh, 5713, yeah.
Because when you put the fence up, I cited $100,000 at that time, of course, he put it like 4 feet beyond the front of his house.
Yeah.
Because first he was building a garage or something in the back, and I put a stop work on it, he stopped that. So, well, I'm gonna be looking at that this week, talking about the cars, stuff like that.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
You're
Well,
referring to the
thank
guy on George Street, you said?
Sir,
The individual on George Street?
yeah, right across from the Habitat, we manage this house.
Oh.
That's across the street from his house.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, right at Aspen Street. Right
Okay.
on Aspen and Josh.
Oh, okay.
Okay. All right, well, I just wanted to, if there are no other questions, Mr. Pinckney, I wanted to say that it really makes me feel good to see the progress that we've made as far as moving forward with these code enforcement issues. And one of the greatest accomplishments I think that we've done in a while is to get this issue resolved for the residents on 62nd Avenue, because they have been suffering for, years. Because it's just been back and forth, dragging junk, doing every kind of thing to make people unhappy on that corridor. So now they can look out front and they can see a nice clear place, and they can be happy that somebody was looking out on their behalf. It's not that we weren't trying to do it, it just never came to fruition. But I want to thank you personally, Mr. Pinckney, for making it happen. A lot of things you got, it was just a blessing that the new owners took it and that they took the initiative to come forward and do the things that they've done. And very fast. It happened very expedient, and it's great for the people who live on 62nd. So I'm happy about that. Okay? I just wanted to say thank you. Yes. All right, we're going to move on down, and I have Mr. Rumi's report here. She was here earlier, and she was going to get on the line, but she sent me back a text message saying she was just worn out because it has been so hot in here all day. One half of our building, the system is working like on this end. From this end and over on the other side, it's working. In the back, it is burning up, and it's been that way all day. And Mr. Rumi was back there sitting against that cement wall. You know how that draws more heat? And so she asked me, would I please read her report, so I'm about to do that. And this is the Office of the Town Manager from Dorothy Sarumi, Town Manager. Her report from June 19th to July 19th, 2022. Below, please find my report for the above reference period. Administration, reminder notice, request to renew franchise agreement with Verizon. The franchise agreement between the town and Verizon expires on November 21st, 2022. The cable franchise must be renewed 30 to 36 months prior to the franchise expiration date. Prince George's County Summer Youth Employment Program. Summer Youth through the Prince George's County Youth Enrichment Program began working on July 5th and July 7th. The following students are working for the summer: Nyambe Hopper, Malik Tate, and Jaquan Phoenix. Ms. Hopper answers the phone and greets visitors at the front desk. Malik and Jaquan will perform various jobs both inside and outside. Please come by to meet them. Updating Verizon Channel 11. To place information on the channel, please send as Word documents or JPEG state, federal, or external information to be placed on the channel, and it can be sent to Mr. Gray. The regular town meeting is broadcast live on Channel 11 and is now downloaded on the website. Updated information for the website. Councilmember Brianna White is added to the website as a back-end user. She now has access to update the website. Job announcements. The position of laborer for the Department of Public Works remains open. We have received 4 applications and will continue interviews until the position is filled. Number 2, the town is seeking candidates for the position of Chief of Police. The announcement remains posted on the town's website, Public TV Channel 11, Prince George's County Employment website, MML, and others. The following panel members selected by the mayor were Vernon Hale III, Assistant Chief of Police from Prince George's County, Anthony N. Reese, Chief of Police for Forest Heights, retired civil engineer for the District of Columbia Department of Transportation, and citizen Edmund Sheffield, Mayor Martin, and I. The panel received 11 applications. A summary of the interview process is as follows. 1 applicant withdrew. 3 applicants did not qualify and had a benchmark score of 50 or less. 3 were no-shows. 4 applicants completed the interview. The panel came to a unanimous decision to continue to search for a chief. Mayor Martin reached out to the Police Chiefs Association and others for referrals. Police Department. On July 6, 2022, I met with Victoria Harrison of the Maryland State Police. She requested to review Uniform Crime Reports, UCRs, for October, November, and December of 2021. Mrs. Harrison suggested that the town send a letter to request a waiver of all UCR reporting for 2022 because town does not have any officers. The request should be sent to Ida Williams at idawilliams@maryland.gov or write to Ida Williams, 1711 Belmont Avenue, Woodland, Maryland, 20244. Public Works. The Public Works Department is short-staffed. During the summer season, the department spends time cutting grass, and the following tasks must be completed. Removing grass along the sidewalks. This is a trip hazard. Paint all curves yellow and blue, indicating no parking. Paint and stencil all storm drain covers. Replace all dilapidated and rusted signs throughout the town. Clean out and remove trash from storm drains. Building maintenance, caulking, and some painting. The Pepco charging station. Please be aware that the Pepco charging station is available 24 hours per day in accordance with the Pepco agreement. Pepco provided a monthly energy utilization report. Please see the report is attached. If there is an event in the building, the parking and spaces designated for the charging station must not be used for parking. I am asking Mrs. Tucker to please notify Public Works when there is an event so that they can place additional no parking signs. Update on the Net Zero Housing/Housing Initiative Partnership. The location for the Net Zero Housing units at 711 60th Place and at the corner of Joss Place were cleared during this period. The areas are graded and grass seed has been planted. The next step is the installation of electrical and water lines for each newly constructed home. The Housing Initiative Partnership is the developer and Warren Construction is the builder. The projected time for construction is fall of 2022. I have observed that the demolition of the 2 blighted properties has stimulated other cleanup projects in the surrounding areas. The Fairmount Heights Community Development Corporation, the CDC applied for capital grant funding through the Prince George's Council. The CDC is seeking capital funding to make certain improvements at the town hall. Recommended improvements include renovations of bathrooms and other areas. FHC, CDC participated in Earth Day of 2022 and will participate in the Farmers Market. Update and reminder, Veterans Memorial World War II African American Heritage Preservation Program Grant. The update is included in the Treasurer's Report. Upcoming grants, the United States Department of Agriculture announced the availability of the USDA People's Garden Initiative. The simple act of planting a garden can have big impacts, from building a more diversified and resilient local food system to empowering communities to come together. The Economic and Community Development Committee, Sustainable Communities Program application for designation renewal. The Sustainable Communities Act of 2012 established the framework for reinvestment and revitalization of Maryland existing communities, creating single, locally designated focus areas. The sustainable communities must be renewed every 5 years. The renewal application provides an opportunity for local governments to update their existing SC action plan and report on accomplishments made over the past 5 years. The application was last renewed July of 2017. Some of the accomplishments included the following: MEA grant to install interior lighting at the town hall, the ART grant, installation of a stormwater system at the ravine, grant through African American Historic Preservation Commission to renovate Veterans Memorial Park in 2019, planting additional trees at the ravine and Pocket Park, and complete landscape design, created Farmers Market. The Economic and Community Development Committee meets the 3rd Thursday of the month. Recommendations from the committee to the mayor and the council were as follows. Number 1, that the mayor and council establish a historic preservation review board. The purpose of the board is to review the designs and plans for all renovation projects and new construction. The committee should be made up of at least 3 members and no more than 5. Number 2, that the mayor and the council contract the services of a consultant to prepare the request for proposal for the development of the property known as the 4.4 acres. And finally, time to get ready for spring planting and 2022 Farmers Market. The kickoff flyer is attached. Please come out and support the Farmers Market. Remember, healthy eating, healthy living. The Green Team holds its regular monthly meeting on the 4th Thursday in each month. Due to COVID-19, the meetings are all held virtually. The team has earned 185 points to date, while only requiring 150 points for certification. It is now a state law, as passed by the General Assembly session during the 2021 sessions, to plant 5 million trees. Per the law, Chesapeake Bay Trust will distribute $10 million per year to support tree planting in urban areas. I will be working with staff, the FHCDC, and the Citizens Association to identify streets that would be ideal for creating tree canopies. A special thanks to our regular Green Team members, Councilmember Waiters, Councilmember Wood Dodson, Mrs. Daisy Capers, Mac Hill, Lonnie Whitfield, Donnell Tucker, and Warren Eagleston. That completes the report from Mrs. Sarumi. I'm going to continue on down. I have the treasurer's report listed. I assume she might be on her way, but if she does come, then she can actually read or give her summary of her report. So I'm going to continue on down to old business. The first item listed was the disposal of the COVID-19 kits and the mask, and I think I might have mentioned in the last meeting that there has been an extension on the usage time for the COVID-19 kits, and the extension runs until September of 2022. So I wanted to put that information out. And we talked in work session about some methods of getting these kits to the community right away. I think Councilmember White put the information up on Facebook for people to be able to contact the town hall. We have the 3 employees here that can help with giving them out. So if people would come here, if they need to pick up a kit, they can come on and pick up a kit and a couple of masks, but we need to get those out, and those kits are still on that timeline for September of 2022. So, you know, if you all, I guess the only other thing we probably can do is maybe put that on the TV station. It's on there? Okay, yeah, because it was on the website also, and it's on Facebook.
And it's on Nextdoor.
Okay, so yeah, I saw it on Nextdoor. I did. So we have some other times that we talked about giving out kits also. One time also was this coming Saturday. Is that from 3 to 6, council member?
No.
What time?
It's from 1 to 4?
1 to 4.
Okay, from 1 to 4 in the lower level. Those, they can pick up the kits then. And we talked about on the 30th for the fish fry, when I'm quite sure that there will be some conversation, more conversation about it. And the flyers went out for that this week. I think on the back of those flyers, I don't know whether it was information concerning the market, the farmer's market was on the back, I think. But anyway, those went out. So people have to be on the lookout and follow the website, get all that information, because we want to do as much as we can to get as many of the kits out as we can, because right now it might seem like things are fine, but if you'll notice that the numbers are creeping. And as soon as the weather starts changing again, people they'll be looking for them. So if you have a good supply on hand, it'll be wonderful. Okay, so I just wanted to put that out there. The second item that's under old business was just added to the agenda, and that was the communications process. And I'm going to yield that over to Councilmember Waiters. I know it was concerning some concern that she wanted to give to put that on the agenda.
Is that for me now?
That's for you.
Okay, Madam Mayor, and council, community,
I'm sorry,
Good evening.
Councilwoman Waiters, could you
I'm gonna
speak up just a little
about
bit?
what you want me to do.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm sorry. So I wanted to discuss the Zoom, our communication efforts. Councilmember White, who's over communication, moving forward. I've just said this time and time again, and I've worked on this for the past 2.5 years prior to the new election. And I'm very, very frustrated that I have to have this conversation again. So I'm going to say what I said again, but then I'm going to end it by calling for the council's preference as we vote to finalize how we will communicate with the community. I really am tired of hearing we can't hear. We are trying to mitigate that. So I asked that it be put on the agenda, and I want to share with the council that I spent a significant amount of time here in Ms. Tucker's absence and over the past 2.5 years trying to normalize our Zoom meetings. Mr. Gray has a Zoom number. We have a Zoom number. We pay for the monthly. We pay for our Zoom number monthly. Mayor Martin prefers to use our Zoom for work sessions only. A Zoom is a Zoom, a meeting is a meeting for me. So there is no difference. But I do want to share with you logistically, I set up the meetings prior to the election and with Ms. Tucker and with the mayor and went over the process of the same meeting number for the work sessions and the same meeting number for the town meetings every month. In Ms. Tucker's absence, I spent time with Ms. Zarumi posting on the website so the citizens are not confused the meeting IDs and for both meetings, work session and town meeting, for the next up until December of this year. It also gives a news flash, as Mr. Rumi calls it. 2 weeks prior to our every meeting, it will start flashing the meeting notice with the meeting ID the meeting password if it's applicable, and the link to get in. Every month for 2 weeks at 12 a.m. on the day of any given meeting that has been posted, the flash will disappear, and then the new meeting flash will start 2 weeks prior to the next meeting. Last work session I come in to meet. I'm an elected official like everyone else. I don't mind assisting with anything, but I'm kind of getting tired of putting the extra effort for communication when it's being ignored. So I have, you can lay your phone down, you don't have to do that. You can hear me. Let me just move this up so you can hear me. So I'm really frustrated with putting forth the extra time, going back and forth with the meetings, trying to make sure things are connected and not being able to fully listen to the meetings because I'm trying to get connected. Before it was, she's always doing something when I didn't have to. You know, most techs make $35 an hour, the minimum. But I'm saying this, I am calling for the council to finalize this. It's getting very frustrating. Last time we met, it was the same thing. It was an echo. It was, we can't hear, and I'm really kind of sort of getting tired. I don't want to go over the logistics of everybody being on, everybody's mic being open, what you need to do. I really don't want to do that. But again, last week's meeting, work sessions meeting, the meeting ID was there, the wrong meeting was started, and nobody could get in for 15, 20 minutes. The wrong meeting ID. It specifically says work session. It says town meeting. It's on the last meeting. It's always there. Frustration today. The meeting IDs have been set up to December, but at the last minute, we send Mr. Gray's ID out to confuse the community all over again. Special meeting at 6 o'clock. I had no idea. Was it executive session? If not, in violation again. So, I am asking, Mayor Martin, you can call for the motion, but I am asking for the council to finalize our communication processes per the management of our communication liaison to be the numbers that have been set up from now until December. There's no work to do. All you have to do is come in and start the meeting. And I am tired. It's not my responsibility, but I have been doing it, and I am tired. I'm tired about I'm tired of the backlash, and I'm tired of working to get everything finalized, and then it changing at the last minute. So, I'm asking for a decision from the council to finalize this using the existing numbers that have been put in place, that have been posted on the website, and that have been shared with the community for us to use for Zoom. The only time it changes is if we have a special meeting, and there's a number that's already embedded for that. There's no reason to use Mr. Gray's number. There was never a reason unless we initially started. And this is no offense to you, sir, but it's unnecessary. It's like a fourth or fifth number. It's totally unnecessary. Now, I can throw my profession in, but I don't need to. It just makes common sense. It just makes common sense. So I am asking, please call for a motion.
I will accept the motion to, let me see how this is going to be worded. Well, I'll let you word it since you can bring the motion forward, council member.
Yes, ma'am, I will.
And then I will accept the second on that so they can become a matter of record.
I'm requesting from the mayor and council to vote via motion in favor for the existing numbers that we have per the account that we're paying for, the town of Fairmount Heights Zoom, for them to remain as is, as they are set up, and that we do not use Mr. Gray's number, that we use our own numbers. I can look them up and call them out if I need to make that public record, but the town meeting and the work sessions. Basically, I need a motion that we use our own identified Zoom account to publish our meetings for communication.
And can I get a second? Can I get a second on?
Second.
I didn't make the motion.
Who did the
I didn't make the motion.
Oh, are you
There's
going to
no
make the
first.
motion?
You told me to state it. There's no first.
Okay. All right, well, somebody else, just make, can you make the motion?
I am making the motion to streamline our Zoom links for them to be solely the Fairmount Heights Zoom links.
Right.
And no other ancillary links.
I get a second on
A
that.
second.
Okay. Are there any questions on the motion? All right, Madam Secretary, would you please call the roll?
Mayor Martin.
Aye.
Councilmember Waiters.
Aye.
Councilmember Oscar.
Aye.
Councilmember White.
Aye.
Councilmember Barnhart.
Aye.
Councilmember Dodson.
Aye.
And Councilmember Stewart.
Aye.
All right. The ayes have it. Are there any nays? And any abstentions? So it becomes official, the ayes have it, and we're going to try to follow that trend so that it gets put into place. Now, I understand your situation with your feelings and everything, and I wanted to publicly thank you for the work that you did when Ms. Tucker was on vacation for 10 days. So it's been a lot, and I know we've had issues as far as our system and getting it to work, but I think it's in place now so that it's officially done, that we'll use our numbers, and this has been set up until December of 2022. Thank you. All right, we're going to continue down.
There was one other thing. I don't know where you put it, but there was one other thing, the email that you received,
Yeah, that's not,
which I don't know where you put it.
I put it down under new business, it's number 6. The
But it was
email,
old. No, that's old business.
but it's the email is new. That's why I asked, where did you want it? Did you want it in old business or new
The
business?
initial comment was made before, so I would assume that it would be old business.
But it's a brand new email, I just gave it to everybody. Now, it doesn't really matter, one way or the other, we can put it in old or new. It doesn't matter, as long as we just keep it going down the list, it's fine with me. Would you like to do it now?
Because I think the email specifically pertains to the last town hall.
Meaning,
It can go in old, I just move it from one to the other, doesn't matter. So this will be item number 3 under old business. And this is the email that was received today. I gave it to the council today. And Council Member Waiters has requested to read this into the record.
I'm gonna come over here to the lectern for this. Do I need to do anything, Mr. Correct? So, for the record, we were handed I was asked a question, and my response to that question was, when I receive something in writing, then I'll respond. I received, when I got here today, I received a copy of an email that was addressed to Mayor Martin from Patricia Uckendall-Waka. It says, to Madam Mayor Lillian Martin and the Town Council. It says, Mayor Martin and Town Council, as requested by Councilmember Waiters. I have my questions in writing. I will honor her request, but I want it to be read into the record and presented to the council. The questions are as follows. Madam Mayor, first of all, because the email was sent to you, my initial request was that if it would be the questions are of me, so I don't know why the email was sent to you, but it should have been sent to me, because my statement was, when I receive a request for information, I respond. So therefore, I don't have to respond to this email. But I do want to say this, for a lot of these questions that have been asked as to why I'm advising the council, we have discussions, we make decisions, we make motions, and we vote. So I'm not advising anyone. We have an attorney for that. So in terms of my advising, if I am advising anybody, then each and every one of you are, and so was she. I don't understand why when we have a discussion now, all of a sudden I am advising. So I'm not really going to read. I would have read it into public record, but the small portion of this letter is addressed to you, and the questions are being asked of me and Councilwoman Wood Dodson. So I'm going to respond by not responding. I don't know what you're going to do. And I'm gonna say this also, I'm gonna say this. We're done with this negative stuff. We're done with the recall. For whatever you think I have done or I have not done, there's a certain process to follow. I was not recalled. I was not recalled. I was not addressed with any of these issues right here. There was one question that was asked of me. And again, I say to this, if you have a question of me, ask, but I will not continue to be harassed by Councilmember Ukindua Walker because she's upset that she got recalled. They recalled you, not me. If you want to know something from me, ask me. Don't keep coming into meetings harassing me because nothing has changed from the time you were a council person. But you have questions for these people that have come on that you didn't do. There are questions to ask you in terms of lawsuits that we are pending. So let's not do this, because it'll get ugly. It will get ugly, okay? So you, whatever you have for me, address me with it. Don't penalize these new people with your ugliness, please.
Thank you. Oh, my. Woo, 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 woo. All right, we're going to move on down. We have several items here for new business. And the first one on the new business is the ARPA community date. And I think this information, has it already been sent out, Ms. Tucker? Did it go out on the last flyer for the ARPA meeting for the 30th? We agreed upon that when we had our work session. It would be from 9 to 12. 9 to 12 on the 30th, we'll have the ARPA community meeting. It'll be right here in the upper level. And then from 3 to 6, you all have received the flyer for the, that will be coming out for the cookout, for the fish fry, okay? So I don't know whether it was on the same flyer, but, because you know how we be getting so many bits of information, but anyway, that's the date, and I put it on the agenda here because I used basically the information that was taken from our work session. So the ARPA community date is July the 30th from 9 until 12. Now, we've discussed a lot of different usages for the ARPA funding, and we'll get a chance to rehash, but we want to hear from the community. So on that day from 9 to 12, if you all would like to join in with us, please come. Please come. Okay, item number 2 is the recess, and that is something else that we discussed, and we agreed that during the month of August, which we normally have a time that we can do brainstorming and work behind the scenes, so we'll be working behind the scenes during the month of August. We have some things that we want to try to do, housekeeping items that we're going to do inside the building, so we won't have our work session and we won't have our town meeting. So I wanted to make sure that that became a matter of record. That's the whole month of August. The whole month of August. Yes, council member.
So, Madam Mayor, I was reviewing the charter, and it doesn't call, it doesn't authorize a recess.
We do it every year. And the reason why is because we need time to refuel.
I understand the reasons,
you know,
but if the charter doesn't call for
the
one,
charter
how do we...
says you do it once, it says you have a meeting once a month. I agree with that.
Right.
But we always have a recess. Even in the old days, they had an August recess.
Okay, so then we should
So you
consider
vote
amending the charter to reflect that, because technically we're in violation of the charter if we don't have a monthly meeting.
I understand. And that was the reason why I tried to squeeze us in a meeting last time. I always try to do us a meeting, but during the month of August, because of the fact that people need the time to spend a few days with their family or do something that's going to hold their lives together after going through all that we do throughout the year, and just to take that month of August just to get ourselves reorganized, that's been the procedure. Now, if there's somebody that can come along and say, well, you all can't do this, then that would be something different. You
Our charter
understand?
says we can't do it.
I understand.
I'm not disputing.
No. I saw that. You know what? I looked at that same thing in there, but we always have that time. And I think it must be working because of the fact that from days of old, they had that month. And sometimes they used to take July and August.
Okay, so then maybe we should look at revising or amending our charter to reflect that we get a month of recess, a full month of recess, and specify what we do during that recess, because you saying behind the scenes, It's
Yeah.
a recess. Nobody's supposed to be doing anything.
I understand,
It's a
but
recess.
this is why I said that you could possibly, even if you want to take a trip somewhere, that's on, it's family time. I mean, we have to have some kind of time that we can do some of the things.
I'm not disputing that in no
Yeah.
way, shape, or form, Mayor. I'm just saying that if the charter says we have to have a meeting monthly, we're violating our own charter, one. And then two, we need to consider amending the charter to include a recess 1 month out of the year, whether it's August, July, or whatever, so that we're not violating our own charter. That's all I'm
Okay,
pointing out.
okay, I understand that part also. But I put it here because of the fact that we agreed to do that. Now, if anybody wants to do some more research and come up with something different, it's, you know.
Did we agree?
Didn't we agree?
I don't recall.
Oh, you all didn't agree?
I don't recall anybody agreeing to it.
Well, yeah, yes, we did. It's in my minutes. I have it in my minutes from the work session. So, you all didn't agree to it?
I don't recall.
Okay, all right.
I don't know, but I mean, I'm not opposed to it. I'm just saying, I just don't want to be in violation of our own charter.
So what is the pleasure of the council before we even, you know, because what's the pleasure? You all want to go straight on through? But somebody's got to say something.
I've already said my point.
I'm not talking, you know, I'm saying everybody else.
I'm personally in favor of having a recess during the month of August.
Okay,
Big time,
okay. Council member, let's go straight down the list here, and then so I won't have that to try to deal with, because I'm trying to just get everyone on one accord.
Okay. Are you going down the road?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
council member Waiters.
So, Madam Mayor, when we, and I do believe we favored the recess, but however, when you made the statement, you said that we would be in recess, but we would be working behind the scenes. If we're in recess, we cannot meet. So it has to be one or the other. If we're in recess, we cannot meet. So,
We're not trying to meet all, we could be a couple of us that want to do some projects, that we could do some things. We don't have to, we don't have to have a formal meeting. That's my point.
I think,
Okay, that's all right. Okay, Councilmember White.
I think we might have to go straight through. I think
Fine.
so.
Okay, Councilmember Barnhart.
Have the meeting. That's what you're saying.
Yeah,
You want to work straight through?
yes.
In a minute after the fact.
I can't hear you.
Meeting, we're gonna amend after the fact. We have a meeting.
What would you prefer, to go straight on through August? Okay, okay, all right. Okay, Councilmember Wood Dodson.
I mean, in order to put it in its right perspective, I guess we'll go through and then amend it after the fact.
I'm not getting it.
We're not gonna take a recess because, like she's saying, in the charter, it says.
We have to have a meeting
Right.
monthly.
Right.
Okay,
So
All
we'll
right.
have the meeting monthly, then amend it after the
After
fact, because I
the
can't see us not having a meeting for August when the charter states that
You have.
monthly, we have to have a meeting. So we amend it after,
Right.
so that be already in place. So we won't be going against our own charter. It's already written and
fine,
stated.
fine with me. Okay, so you already said you want to go straight on through.
Yes,
So-
and then amend the charter.
All right, so
to
that's
reflect.
fine. So what, we'll go straight on through. I might not be here for certain times, but we'll go straight on through. What'd you say?
Councilmember Dodson.
Yeah, she wants to go straight on through. She wants to go straight on through. Okay,
So how many meetings we supposed to have a month? Just one, right?
Just one.
okay.
So that one is fine.
Yeah, we just have a town meeting,
Town meeting,
and it could be quick and to the point.
that's it.
Cut and dry.
Just let you know about the events that's taking place within the next couple of weeks.
That's it.
It's not gonna be a long drawn out meeting.
Okay, all right, so that's everybody. Okay.
You're not the old
And
council,
on the
so-
issue of amending the charter, can you guys, or, because I'm not familiar with the process, how do we amend it so that we can make these changes that we see fit as we go along?
Put it in its place.
does it have to go through the attorney first? I mean, do we
Yeah.
first vote on it, then it goes to the attorney? Like, how does it work?
Well, for one thing, we have to go through the chart. It's going to take time for us. That could have been one of the projects we probably could work on during our time if we had the month off. But, you know, we go straight on through. We will get someone to come, and we need someone to actually work on updating the charter, because when we've tried to do it, it hasn't been successful. The last time we worked on little segments of it, but it never really got to the point where it was good enough to be changed to a new charter. So we need someone, we're gonna have to pick somebody out and get them to come. We'll set a date and we will work on it. And then once it has to go to the attorney for approval. And then from there, you know, we have to because of open meetings, we'll make sure everybody is here to see what we're doing and how we're gonna change it. And then we'll officially do the vote on getting it changed.
Okay.
It's a process. So that itself, even if we could just do something like that during the month of August, that would be a great accomplishment.
Okay.
That would be a great accomplishment.
So if we wanted to modify the charter, because I read today in the ordinance where they changed it from a 2-year to a 4-year, right?
Mm-hmm.
They did that back in 2019. Is it the same process as this to amend?
No, well, see, that was in 2018.
So sorry. What did you have?
I have where they amended the charter where they did a legislative session, an ordinance from 2-year to 4-year
Yeah,
terms back in March 20th, 2019.
2018, I think it
It
was.
says 19.
Okay. Yeah, it was
Yeah, I went through the
18.
books today.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that would be the process.
No, it's more to it than that, because you got to go through it. You know, that charter is so antiquated because it's never been really updated. So we got to go through it section by section. We got to have somebody that knows the ins and outs of doing it to make it legally sufficient. Then it goes from there. We got to take it to the attorney to be approved. Then we bring it back and we go through the process and we vote on it. It should be okay.
Right.
You know, don't get me started on the whole procedure, but I know that that's the way it has to go through a process.
I have a question.
Yes.
So,
It was voted on in May of two. I have the pictures
Yeah.
of that.
so,
Okay.
Madam Mayor,
Can you go to the podium?
Go to the pen, yeah, please.
we want to make this public because there's some discrepancies. It keeps going back and forth and back, and we discussed the stipends, but we never discussed the term. And I brought this up, but it's never discussed in the section. So here we have. I'm so glad you did your homework. In front of us, the ordinance for the term and the stipend increase on the same date, March 20, 2019. Meaning whichever time, and there's a signature page, meaning that the time, this says 3/20/2019, meaning effective 20/20/19, whoever was in office, concerning the 4-year term and the stipend increase should not have gotten it. So it wasn't just council member, and it wasn't just the stipends, it is the term too. And so therefore, council member who? Morgan. And whose term was up this time? Who's expired? Who was?
Three. It was
No, it was
three.
3. You and another person.
Morgan,
Morgan,
Hargrove, and Dodson.
And so therefore, for 2 years, they got $150, whether they gave the stipend back or not. They got paid. It should not have gotten paid because they shouldn't have been in office. It's right here. It's right here. It's right here. So the $100 bonus y'all talking about, y'all, it's right here. Thank you so much. I need to copy this because at the same time, the point is this. The stipulation in the charter is whenever changes are made, the ordinance passed by ordinance, it does not affect the current sitting body. It impacts the new. Those 3 individuals were the sitting body when these 2 ordinances were passed, and so therefore they should have their term. They served a 4-year term and should only have been there for 2, which means that last May there should have been an election prior to a recall and the expenses associated with the recall. It was supposed to be an election, but nobody would listen to the term. They would only listen to the stipend concerning her and removal of her vice chair. I've had that conversation before. We can re-enter it again. I've done mine. I've done mine.
Good, but that's it. It worked together. That's good.
Every time we've ever had that discussion, they've only listened to what impacted her and not the rest of them. So let's continue that conversation because they owe us money.
Well, it's gonna have to be
Yep,
continued. 'cause
and we would
can't
further, we'll get to that. We would further that anybody that got paid that wasn't supposed to, since y'all, what was this meeting for at 6 o'clock?
We really couldn't have.
Stipend, Councilmember Wood Dodson.
Oh,
That's what
okay.
it says.
So we want to
Okay.
add term to that. Legal sufficiency, I do want to follow up. If we're going to talk to the attorney anytime soon.
Well, we're gonna talk with him, but we need to find out, we mentioned that in the early meeting, is that we're gonna have to find out whether he'll still be working with us per se,
Probably
because
not. He won.
he's got,
He won. Probably
well,
not.
he only needed just one vote probably to win, so.
He won, he probably, he
Okay.
won, he
Yeah, he
probably
was
will not.
opposed, yes.
Okay, so, all right, I'm gonna go on down.
I want to clear it right here. I want to clear. You asked a question, we never finished this discussion, but per that discussion, I want to make certain that while we are addressing stipends, that we are addressing the 4-year term, if we're doing repayment and dismissals or whatever, I want to make certain that the individuals that involved are notified. Yeah. I got something for the bonus y'all discussed too. I got something for that too. Should I say that now while I'm at it?
Well, no, you.
Okay, I'll wait till you get to it.
Okay. All right, we're going to continue on down to,
This is crazy.
so we will be working throughout the month of August. Item number 3 is the operational hours for the electric charging station. Mrs. Sarumi had that in her report, and it's a 24-hour operation. It was in her report. Okay, item number 4 is the former and sitting council members' notification of bonus repayment. We didn't actually get a chance to get that whole discussion done because our meeting was incomplete.
Comment?
You wanted to comment on that
Yes,
particular
ma'am.
one?
Yes, ma'am. I just want you to note right there while you're discussing the notification bonus repays or whatever for legal sufficiency. Could you put in there, make note, statute of limitations? There's a certain time people owe a debt that you...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you say you didn't get to a final discussion?
No,
of
we
that?
didn't. We didn't, because we needed the treasurer.
Yeah, I find it strange that people keep getting attacked for $100 bonus when folks sat here and had no report month to month, got paid $350 for 3 years. We working hard and keep getting attacked for $100, same way you did. Same people. It's the same people.
Okay, we're,
The same people.
our next item here is item number 5, which is the peace rally sponsored by State's Attorney Brave Boy. Now, we received the email this evening saying that what they're going to be doing, and it's going to be done on the 29th, which is next, I think it's next Tuesday, or one day next week. They're going to have a public safety and gun violence prevention rally. It's sponsored by the state's attorney. It's going to be from 5:30 to 7:30. Now, it's going to wind up at Goodwin Park in Sea Pleasant. They had called me and asked me if we could do it here. I told them we could work with them, and I was trying to get them to do it on our lot up here at the Fairmount Heights lot. But then they called back and said, well, we prefer to have it at Sea Pleasant and Goodwin Park. So this is what came concerning that. It will be on the 29th, and it's going to be from 5:30 to 7:30 at Goodwin Park. Now, they said what they would do, they would come through the town, I guess with the sound, whatever sound system they're going to have, and everything to sort of remind people they're going to have this rally. But it will be at Goodwin Park. She says she wants to have one with us in August. But as to how far they'll get on that, I don't know. But I did receive this evening, coming from the state's attorney. So
The mayor,
that's what I have. That's what I have on that.
not a mayor.
Just a moment. Yeah, so that's it for her.
With that, I did talk to Miss Wendy on yesterday concerning them coming here. You just mentioned, she said in August, she actually was asking if we were having National Night Out. That was the conversation we were having during work sessions, so she wants to know if we are. I did mention the council mayor's concern with us not having a police department. She says it doesn't matter, that they want us to reach out to them in order for them to reach out to us, for us to go proceed. So they're waiting for, they have resources. Basically what she was saying is they're waiting for us to let them know whether they're going to have it or not, and they will come.
And who is that again?
Wendy, I'll send you her phone number.
Who is it again?
Wendy, she's with State's Attorney's Office.
Okay, State's Attorney's Office, okay.
So we'll be having police.
Well, see, we get a lot of different information coming in, but I don't think it was from her, but I just wanted to put the information out for the 29th. And as far as night out is concerned, if we can always get back to them, but I wanted to actually put emphasis on Fairmount Heights.
Right, I mentioned it, Madam Mayor, because she mentioned this event to me yesterday. She brought this to my attention.
Yes,
So
yes.
I am familiar with what you're talking about. I just wanted to add, because the council was concerned with, particularly Councilmember Stewart, with National Night Out. We had that discussion, and she mentioned that, let me just do it this way. I'll give you her number.
Oh, I just mentioned that if we were gonna have a national night out that really focuses around crime and crime awareness, that we needed police officers to be able to talk about current trends and what's happening now in and around our communities, because they look at the crime stats, they pull reports. So we needed somebody to be an expert on that. Couldn't be one of us saying, yeah, we got people breaking in the car, but what's the statistical data that says how many car break-ins do we have in the town? So I was just saying I wouldn't recommend that we did it without police officers here to be our experts in this area. But if she's saying we can do it without police officers, I'm all for it.
Okay, well, I guess we're gonna have to discuss that, because isn't it August the 2nd? I think it's their day that's targeted. It's the same day for everybody for National Night Out. I think it's the 2nd.
I don't know. That was the point that I'm making. She just said that whatever we needed, just let her know.
Okay.
And then she gave me the phone number, so I'm providing the phone number.
Okay. All right. I have basically, I'm going to continue on down because I'm going to the mayor's report at this time, and I have a few items that I want to mention. The first one is the information that was sent out for the development of the old Prince George's Hospital site. I think that's something very interesting for all of us. Most people have probably seen it on the news or heard about it. They have 44 acres at the top of the hill at the old site for Prince George's Hospital, and they're talking about the development that's going to be there, and it's going to be absolutely fabulous. They are, for one thing, they're putting that whole image out of being able to look out over the DC, Maryland, and Virginia area. It's going to be, because it's so high up. And they're emphasizing the good usage of that land, 44 acres, where they're going to have apartments, they're going to have townhomes, they're going to have stores, they're going to have everything there, sort of like a little mini city up on top of that hill. I think it's very good for us as far as development is concerned, and it gives us more reason to work on developing our own land that we have on Sheriff Road. So I think I put that in everybody's box. I put it in every council member's box so you all can see where that's going. But I think it's going to really be good. The county executive was there, and she talked about it's a $500 million investment in the county. So it's going to be something good for us. Hospitality and multi-use space. It's going to be very good. One other thing I wanted to mention was the response that we got from Chief Liberati from the Landover Hills Police Department, who is the chief for the Municipal Chiefs Association. He sent back a response that he's received our message and he's accelerating our search. So don't be despaired. We hope to be back in the game again soon with the new people that are going to come forward. Ms. Sarumi talked about some of it in her report. But we're going to have more candidates. Hopefully, he was supposed to make the announcement to all the chiefs in the area, and we have about 3 or 4 other sites where our announcement is going to be out there constantly. So I think too, we have something that we really probably need to get together and talk about, because two of the people on the interview panel gave us some suggestions as to what we might possibly do in the interim. So we can talk about that, and I don't know what day we'll schedule it, but I guess I'll have to schedule like a special meeting for that. Yes, ma'am.
Mayor, I know Mr. Rumi touched on it a little bit, but what was the reasoning why none of the candidates were good enough to be selected?
Well, you know, we were supposed to present 3 candidates to the council, and the candidates just were, out of those people that met the cutoffs, say the numbers when they were rated, they met the cutoffs, they came in for the interviews, but we did not select those 3 people out of that group because we didn't think that there were 3 there that we should present to the council, and in turn the council would have to make a selection on. So we're trying to get it expanded because we didn't feel like it was sufficient. And it wasn't just, I mean, this was a unanimous decision. It was not just 1 or 2 people. It was unanimous.
Okay, so then I want to put on public record that when we go through the next phase, I would like to be a part of the interview board process. Just because at first I thought it was a conflict of interest, but since it's not, I would like to be on the panel board for the next go around.
Well, it's probably, that's probably not a big problem to get done. We just need to make sure that it happens, and just to say that we're working, that's what we're working on doing.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna, because I already talked about the response from the chief, the development of the Prince George's County Hospital site, the test kits, and Our Streets, Our Future. So we're looking forward to that. Another email that came in this evening was concerning the county executive doing the community walk. They have decided they're not going to do a community walk. They want to rename it, and they asked me, would I still like to participate? Well, I would like to get the agencies out here so they can take a look to see if there's anything that the town could accomplish, say DPI, or say maybe the Department of Aging, or some of the other people. Maybe they come and take a closer look, it would be helpful. So I'm going to send that request back saying, yes, we'll take that. Because even though she's not going to be here, but we'll let the agencies come out if they can schedule that. So I'll go on back. If you all would prefer that, that'll be another evening that you have to come to meet up with the group. Normally, I guess they would come probably about 5 or 6. Would you all like to participate in that, or want me to pass it up?
What day is it?
I'm not sure yet. They give you a selection of dates. You pick the dates you would like.
Where is it on
It's gonna be, you all, if you have anything to ask me, just ask me. Okay?
what you're speaking of is on here?
No, it's just something that I talked about it in the last meeting, talking about the community walk, where the county executive was supposed to come, and they do the walk around. If they see things that they can help the community with, then they will, Department of Aging, DPI, any of the county agencies, things they could do to help. But it might be good to put it on the record. They've been all through Sea Pleasant. I don't know about Capitol Heights and Glen Arden, but if you all want, we can accept it. We say yes, and they can tell us what dates are available.
I say yes.
I say yes as well.
Okay.
Yep,
All right. Would you all like it?
yes.
Okay, community walk. Okay. All right, so we'll say yes to that. All right, so that ends it for my report. I'm going to start with council members, and I will start here with you, council member Waiters.
I won't be before you long. I want to start by saying I was looking for the email, but I did share some information with the council about, and I couldn't find it to read it, DPI's Zoom code enforcement seminar. I don't know whether I sent it to you, Mr. Pinckney, or not, but
So it up again, but I couldn't get it.
Oh,
Posted yesterday, I think, it was 11 and 12.
yeah,
They didn't have a Zoom number.
okay.
I wasn't able to the Zoom number or the ID.
Yeah, they were supposed to
Okay,
send
well,
it.
that was the FYI, we supposed to register for it. Well, I was doing something else, so I just want to make sure you all had it, but that's the FYI. I just sent that, as it comes to my email, I just forwarded it all to you guys. I just thought it was good information. I want to go back to Mr. Rumi's report. Economic Development will be resuming our meetings on tomorrow at 7 o'clock. And I want to reiterate her recommendations in her reports to Economic Development Community meeting, the recommendations from the committee to the mayor and council to, one, establish a historic preservation review board. And she did state the purpose. I also want to reiterate that the mayor and council contract services for a consultant to prepare a request for proposal or request for a quote for the development of the property known as the 4.4 acres. And that probably will be the last time I say 4.4, because I've said before we keep referring to it as acreage and size, but we didn't give it a name. So what I did was visually, I'm a visual person. These renderings right here, there's 2 of 4 renderings over there on, I don't know, what do you call that thing, a stand? The easel, okay, I'm sorry, it wouldn't come to me. So on the easel, we have 4 renderings. There's actually only 2 of those renderings, and there are 2 more in the back. And I tend to look at them when they're laying on the table and say our vision, we don't have a vision because we're not looking at it. So I put them there. Hopefully, as you come in, you will take a look at them. We're looking for 2 more easels to put the other 2. Those are renderings that were presented to us. I believe Mr. Rumi worked with and trained the students from Maryland University some years ago. So my point is that we keep revisiting and we keep coming up with these plans, but nothing's being done, and I would like to see some groundbreaking. And so we will pursue with our meetings as now we have kind of sort of finalized the ARP spending. We'll resume. And we intend to hit the ground running with the community to decide what our Main Street is going to look like, as well as our Renaissance development for the property that we refer to as, for the last time, 4.4 acres. In these renderings, they have made, if you drill down into it, you'll see that they've made suggestions for the space. They've even, I think, gave it a couple of names. Those 4 different names. So again, my point is to put those up on the easel so that you can visually see what has been presented to us, and we can start either scaling down, drilling down, or changing things, upgrading accordingly. But soon we should see something happening with the property in our Main Street. I end by saying it is good to know that the old Cheverly Hospital is going to become something. Didn't take long. They opened one, closed one, and now they're getting ready to remodel the other one. It's all in a matter of 2 to 3 years. And we've been sitting on this property for how long? It is time to move. So that concludes my report. Any questions?
Okay, thank you. Councilmember.
Oh, wait. I'm sorry. We have a yard sale, Councilmember. I didn't send you the flyer. This is communication. I gave this to Councilmember White. I'm sorry. I'm old. I forget stuff. Councilmember Wood Dyson wanted to do a yard sale, and I did schedule that. It's a preliminary date. So what we're doing is, as we come up with our events, we are posting them. We're working together to post them on social media. So the yard sale has been posted, Councilmember, on our Facebook page. For the proposed date is the 6th of August. If that changes, I need to know so that I can change it on the social media. I haven't sent anything out other than posting it there. And the Green Team's Farmers Market this weekend has been posted there. That's it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, Councilmember Oscar.
Just wanted to concur with some of the things that
I can't hear my mic.
Oh, yeah.
said I was just wanting to concur with some of the things that Councilmember Waiters was saying regarding the 4 acres and how we really need to take the initiative to get things started. This plot has been there for a very long time, and we need to start to mobilize and get things going on that particular lot. I'm not sure what it's going to take or what effort that requires from us to get the initiative started, but we really need to start focusing on that. In addition to that, I read about the USDA garden program. I would like to inquire more about that and find out how we can implement that program in the wider community and what it would take, what effort it take from the council members to actually implement those programs.
Did you say gun program?
No, USDA garden programs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Thank you. All right, Councilmember White.
Yes, thank you. Hello, all right. So I am very excited in the direction we are moving in, as well as the opportunity we will have to grow and develop in the upcoming months, especially with the changes we're making in the town concerning, blight and things like that. I think we sit in a very unique point in our time as a town where everything is being developed around us. So in terms of development, I think this is the time to strike, especially while the iron is hot and we have this land. So as far as housekeeping, I've been working on a few things in terms of trying to get information out to the town and delegating, what can be done for those things. So accessing new online avenues, as well as trying to make the website more informed. Upon working on the website, I've come to the realization that we really have to put in more groundwork. And so in terms of that, I've been looking into other avenues far beyond the LED sign, but I feel like we need more, how should I put this, more temporary signage without the town, which I'll get into later. And also, in terms of that, now that I've been here for a couple of months, I've also been working to launch a newsletter that I hope will come in the next few months, starting first with the website and then hopefully a quarterly printable newsletter, which would really celebrate the town, landmarks such as marriages, landmark birthdays, things like that. I think it's very important for citizen morale. Also just getting to know everyone. I feel like it would be a great unifier for the town, which I have realized we kind of struggle a lot with, especially being on the edge of, DC and things like that. I know it can feel like people come and go, but I think we need to work more towards, community events and getting to know each other. And I would also like to congratulate everyone on the efforts on the Wong property, especially Mr. Pinckney. Yeah. So, I know this has been very rough. I can obviously say I'm more than pleased to have witnessed this get done, especially with how hot it's getting outside. There are so many health problems, concerning hoarding and things like that. So I am so glad that was able to be accomplished. And then let's see what else. And in terms of just operating, as I've said before, I have spoken to a few people concerning community arts, but also having a passive revenue for the town concerning simple things like utility, grading in the right-of-ways. So, when they're digging up our streets, there should be a schedule for it. They should tell us what time, what day they're digging it up, and also it should be a permit fee. So that's something I'm currently working on, as well as I've reached out to the county to talk about, in the spirit of National Night Out, naloxone. So naloxone is, if you are familiar with, is a drug overdose, an intranasal drug overdose medicine that is free to all residents in PG County, if you didn't already know. I think it should be on everyone. And it's also free at pharmacies in the area. You are able to access it. But getting that for the town and things like that, I think in the future, especially working with Councilwoman Wood Dotson and her great community efforts, this can be a point, especially things like our farmers markets and our coat closet and our clothes events. It would be a great opportunity to really start, feeding these things into our town that feminine care products, things like that, and working towards, things like food instability, which I will also talk about. So the county and the state of Maryland has started their grant process for the 2023 year. And one of those is obtaining a food pantry, which I hope to work with in the future with Miss Councilwoman Wood Dotson, because this is something very near and dear to her heart. She's been, talking about it for a very long time, way before I was here. And I think this is the year they've increased their amount of grant spending. So I think this is the year to really get on that, and I will get with her more on that as well. I've also spoke to Lizel Finner from the Maryland State Arts Council, which is, another effort very near and dear to my heart with my history in art. They have increased their new artworks grants to planning for up to $10,000 to support community planning and artist selection, artwork design, and proposal processes. So this is very new, and it's an update to this year, to this fiscal year. So I hope it's something to work with her, in the future. Tomorrow, she's actually having a How to Apply webinar. It will also be available as a recorded session on their website, which I can give out to anyone if anyone needs it. But I think community arts are really an important part of any community. It works as a, maybe if you don't feel it, you can kind of see it sometimes with community arts. So I think that's a very important avenue that we haven't exactly, really dived into, although we have gotten past grant money and funding for it. I think this is really the time to press harder on that. And in terms of that, that's all I have for tonight. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Barnhart.
Good evening, citizen and council and mayor. Well, the council members and the Citizen Association are hooking up. We're gathering together for August 20th for the book bag drive, returning students that's going back to school. I'm also working on the Harvest Festival that's going to take place in October for arts and crafts. I'm going to try to reach out to the local farms to see if we get pumpkins for carvings, and get with Councilwoman with waiters about candy apples and and other things that we can do, and hopefully we can get our youth that's in our community to dress up and do storytelling around the Harvest Festival. Another thing that we're hoping to do in November, as far as Thanksgiving, meeting with Ms. Woodawson, we're also planning that as well, to give out distribute food for Thanksgiving for the holidays. And also we're actually working on December as well for a Christmas workshop. That's doing decoration, ornaments, and again, candy apples, and hosting pictures with Santa, music, and other displays for the children. So that's all I have for at the moment.
Thank you. Councilmember Woodawson.
Good evening. as they've already said, the giveaway is Saturday. We'll be doing what's been being done, clothes, shoes, canned goods. It's some baby furniture as well that we'll be giving away. I'm helping also with the book bag drive, and I have someone that's gonna sponsor us with school supplies, which will probably stuff the bags. The second week in September, tentatively, a weekday, shredder will possibly be put in the back to come to the town, and where we can get on to where it can be an ongoing thing. We be on the list. Usually weekends they already taken, but I told them we take the weekday. I will be helping with the fish fry, collaborating with the Citizen Association, and if you have anything to donate as well with the giveaway. The flyer will be coming out with the giveaway and the fish fry tomorrow through the community. They can dial my number and someone will come and pick up what you'd like to donate. Slightly used, but clean. Those are the conditions that we've been taking downstairs, and we have generally a good turnout, as well as collaborating with all the other endeavors. I've already checked on the food pantry. It's a possibility that we can just relink back to where we were with Capital Food Bank on Hawaii Avenue, but I also see other alternatives. Park and Planning has a service. I thought I had it, but I left mine. I'm a part of that program. They give little coupons to seniors where you can get, either you can use it all at one setting, or you can use it like $5, you go to the farmer's market. And these coupons are good anywhere. I'm gonna make sure I bring it in so Councilmember Waiters and Ms. Sarumi can see what I'm speaking of. And they give you a whole list of all the markets and these little, yeah. So I'm gonna see how we can get, I'll have the lady call. Yeah, but I'm saying they're like a booklet, and I mean, it's really professionally done. They kick them out and they just, it's just not your name is on it, but the numbers that are on it have been delegated. So I guess they could give so many to us to use in our community.
Okay.
And that's my report.
All right, thank you. Just, you had a comment?
Question for me?
Comment / FYI, yeah, for Councilmember, actually for Councilmember Barnhart and Councilmember Dodson, FYI / question information.
Can you put the mic back up in front of you?
Sorry. So I was at Cedar Heights Recreation Center yesterday, and I was asking them, Councilmember, if you remember, we'd taken the kids youth swimming before. So my question to them was, do they still provide, after post-pandemic, do they still provide bus or transportation to take the children from, or youth from Cedar Heights Recreation Center to one of the swimming recs, like Glenarden? And the answer was yes, but I need to call as a follow-up. And I think you have like the setup for Park and Recreation with, on behalf of the community. So I need to talk to you about doing that. It's a doable thing. But I wanted to let you guys know so that we could coordinate it. And it says we have to have a minimum. Each bus takes 15 youth. So they were asking about how many we needed. And if they say one, I always say 4 or 5. So again, that's FYI to kind of coordinate if we're going to, before the summer's over with, take the youth to the swimming pool, and then providing the transportation, coordinating the transportation. But I need to work with you because you have the portal to Park and Planning.
Community Connect.
Yeah, Community Connect, yeah.
All right,
That was it.
Thank you. Thank you, Councilmember. Councilmember Stewart.
Mayor, council, residents. Today, I rode around with Mr. Pinckney just to take a look at the neighborhood to assess what's going on in and around our community as far as code enforcement. And the neighborhood looks overall okay. We're not in as bad shape as I thought initially we were. We do have some areas that need more attention than others. But as Mr. Pinckney drove me through, he pointed out areas of concern. I pointed out areas of concern that he is actively working on, either to provide warnings to those people or citations to say fix the problem. He's given them ample time. If they don't fix it, then they'll be cited and fined. But I noticed that a lot of the areas that the town is responsible for, overgrown vegetation, the alleys are in disarray. So if we're going to go out and start finding and assessing fines to our residents, then the areas that we're responsible for should look presentable. So I would like to get with Oscar on Public Works and Councilwoman Ms. Barnhart to see how we can work together collectively and get these areas, mainly like the sidewalks. Addison Road, the sidewalks are blocked with vegetation. People have to walk in the street. So we have to get on that type of stuff because that's a public safety issue. But that was my report for today, just going out and assessing the neighborhood. But it looks good. And thank you for taking care of those 2 vehicles in the yard, because I got a lot of complaints about that. Thank you for the Wong project, and I look forward to working with you. We're going to address the lots on Cove Street, and the lot on Sheriff Road, Hamilton's property.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to work to try to see how we can get those 2 issues resolved. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you to all of the reports that were given. I think everything has been informative, and Mr. Pinckney, a special thanks out to you again, because the difference is very visible, and it's just been a real blessing, like I said, that things fell into place on that 62nd Avenue situation, because we have labored in the field for that for a very long time. So, you know, you have to be appreciative when things like this start coming together, because it's all done for a purpose. All done for a purpose, and it's to benefit everybody that lives in this community. Everybody. So I really appreciate that. So we're going to move on down the agenda, and at this time we've come to public participation. If there's anyone that has some issue to bring forward for the good of the organization, would you please come to the mic?
Good evening, everyone, and thanks for the opportunity to come to the mic. I'm here on behalf of the Fairmount Heights Community Development Corporation. Most of you know that it's a 501c3 that has worked a little hard. I thought one time we were going to get a grant to fix up this building, because when I saw the cracks over here and the fact that paint has been, we wanted to get money to do that. So we did apply for a grant. We did not get it. However, we are applying again. So I wanted to say that's part of what the CDC is doing. The other part is our charter requires that we have someone on your council to be a part of that group. And so I'm asking any one of you who would like to volunteer to be a part of the Fairmount Heights CDC, because that's what our charter says. You want to?
Sure. Your charter or the town's charter?
No, our charter.
Oh, okay, your charter.
The CDC's charter. Okay, Ms. Waiters, thank you very
I
very
threw my
much.
hand up, but one of the other council people.
Yeah, thank you very much. I will make that report. We did have an election, and no longer am I the president CEO. It is now Renita Flood who has now taken my place, and Akeem Washington is now our vice president. I've taken a lesser role, but we've got some good people. We even have council member Akindu Waka, who has joined us as well.
I rescind.
I mean, former.
I rescind.
What does CDC stand for?
Community Development Corporation. Yeah. Most communities, like when I say communities, when you take, for instance, Washington, D.C., I was going to use 90, at least 60% of all development in Washington, D.C. is through a CDC. They have the feasibility studies done. They talk to the people, and they get what the people want done. And that was the idea, where I got my idea from, because at one time I actually worked for a council member in D.C. And so I came away with some ideas I thought I could share in my town, but I've learned a lot about a historic town of Fairmount Heights. And change is not always so simple. But I thank you. You said you.
Yeah, I did, because
it's fine. It's fine.
In all due respect, well, let me finish. In all due respect, Miss Capers, I threw my hand up because I would think that one, being chair of economic development or the liaison economic development, that it would work well with.
It would.
But however, I don't think a member of by the way that I'm being harassed in this meeting, I rescind my offer, and Councilmember White has said that she'll help you out. If you need anything from us, let me know, but I will not be able to work with. No.
I'm hoping,
No.
and this is my hope. This is Daisy Capers' hope. The town of Fairmount Heights doesn't belong to any one individual.
It doesn't.
It belongs to all of us.
It does.
And the only way we can make a change in it is gonna need all of us.
It is.
That's true.
So I'm saying somehow or another we can put our differences aside.
We should.
And look at what really needs to be done so that we can find a way to make it happen.
Yeah.
When I heard the news about the 4.4 acres, do you know, when I was a treasurer here at one time, believe it or not, and believe it or not, I won't say I sold that land, but you know what, I tried, okay? Because I was a treasurer, and nobody said you couldn't, because the charter said we had the right. However, I found it had a covenant at the very last minute, because you know what? Hey, if it had been up to me, it would have been developed. But that one covenant, and believe me, I talked to people in Pennsylvania, I talked to the Secretary of Treasury, everybody I knew, because I felt like it could be done. But it takes not just my motivation to make a change. Everybody in here has a right to want to change. First of all, when you say, you see the growth that's around everywhere, revenue goes with growth. We want people to come to our town, and we want them to leave their dollars here when they get here. You understand? Yeah. We have history. We can sell that bad boy. You understand? What I'm trying to say is I want you to dream. I want you to think about the fact that when you go away and you visit other places, you know you go there and you leave your money. I want people to see the same thing in Fairmount Heights. We can do it.
All right. Yeah.
We can do it.
Yeah, keep that thought going. Really true. Yes. Is there anyone else that has something for the good of the organization, Mrs. Folks?
Good evening, everyone. I'm Mrs. Folks, a resident of Fairmount Heights. Yes. This request is on behalf of Mr. Folks. We were riding through the community. He's made his request concerning this before. He said there are a number of signs on the streets that are discolored or missing, bent, and his concern is that we need to either replace signs, do whatever we need to, so when people are traveling, they'll know how to maneuver themselves through Fairmount Heights. We just looked the other day and he was driving through and I'm like, wait a minute, that's not your job. So we have a number of signs that need to be replaced.
Okay.
Another thing I want to make mention, what was the program that they used to give food, groceries? Was that the program you were responsible for, Ms. Dotson? I was speaking to someone last week that person said that that program helped them to make it. When they did not have enough food, that they would come to, I think you had a Sylvania church or somewhere you had it.
Yeah, it was at Silver Vista.
Here and then over there. But they said that that program helped them to make it when they did not have enough food. So it's a request that if you can get that back, it would be greatly appreciated by some of the citizens. And that's all. Thank you.
Thank you.
And I'm glad to see you all are working together. I sense a harmony.
Teamwork.
Thank you.
Yes, a harmony and a peace. And a calm, yes. So you're appreciated, Mayor. You're so much appreciated. And thank you for your services. Thank you.
Thank you. All right.
Thank you, Ms.
Appreciate you very much. Appreciate you. Yes. Mr. Barnhart?
Anyone else want to go further? What?
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
First of all, I would like to thank the Mayor and Council for giving back to the citizens of Fairmount Heights with this fish fry. I tell you, the citizens are in need of some engagement, coming out to meet their newly elected council and their mayor, just to get to know each other. COVID, you're talking almost 3 years of COVID, and you're talking about a recall election and an election, and just a whole lot of stuff been going on lately, but it's always good to give back. And what's the best way to do it? To do it with some hot fish. You know what I mean? Some hot sauce and some wheat bread and white bread and some coleslaw. You like coleslaw, Mr. P? You don't like coleslaw?
You don't like it?
They said the almonds make the best coleslaw. That's sweet.
Don't go with fish.
But we want to just thank you all for doing that for the citizens. They deserve it.
Yeah.
With all the stuff, like I said, been going on with the projects and the code enforcement, police department, and the passing of Chief Ivy, and we done been through a lot.
Yeah.
And I think it's a good time for us to come out and enjoy some music and each other. The Citizen Association right now, we're trying to take a different approach in how we're doing things as far as in the community. And with that being said is, we have a mayor and council. And a lot of things we don't need to address anymore. Ms. Caper said it a couple years back and said, you guys are like out of your realm of doing things because Citizen Association don't really do what y'all do. But at that point in time, we had to do what we had to do. So now we're at the point where as though that we have people here that's well qualified. Like Ms. Folks just said, they are working together. Certain things we don't need to address no more. We want to focus on the community, on the citizens. We're going to also be going to other municipalities. I sent out a group text message in our group. We're going to go to Miss Arumi's neck of the woods. Yeah. We're going down to North Beach. We're going down to the beach.
Oh my.
Yeah, so North Beach has their town meeting on August the 11th.
Okay.
At 7 p.m. and we're going to go and attend their meeting. We're going to go down there and see what they do down there. We're going to have some food and we're going to enjoy ourselves.
I love it. That should be nice. That's going to be real nice. Yeah.
Only thing that we will be addressing is whatever citizens bring to us to bring back to you all. And one thing that Ms. Stewart probably missed on the list of code enforcement, and I'm pretty sure Mr. Penny already know about it, is the townhomes. Now, the townhomes are part of Fairmount Heights, and it's been a long issue with the HOA issue not being established, and with that not being in place, that leaves that part of town unattended. We got some cars and some grass and common areas and things like that, and we have received complaints from citizens that live up there that don't like the way that things are looking. So I know you'll handle it. I'm gonna leave that alone. The next thing will be is ordinances. I know you guys was talking about amending the charter. So, ordinances, just putting some ordinances in places with development that's going to be going on, like Ms. Caper said, selling that 4.4 or building on that 4.4. Developers coming into town, we're going to have to put some ordinances in place so we can capitalize off of the type of revenue that's going to be coming in so we can get a piece of that pie. It's been a long time. The next thing would be is we've been asked about the updates on the UCAP project, as far as the Melvin's Crab House and as far as the elementary school. Folks want to know where is the status with those two projects. I know we had talked about that some time ago, but I know other things had interfered. But we really need to get back to having some meetings about that, because citizens are very concerned of what's coming to the town, especially the ones that live in those impacted areas, what's going to be built or could be built next to them. So we really want to get with the mayor and council about those two projects. The other thing was someone asked about the Fairmount Heights High School. I know they had some meetings about that in the past. I don't know if the town has been involved with it or heard anything about it, but just for future-wise and clarity, I think anything that goes on with Fairmount Heights' name attached to it, we should be involved. I don't care what it is. Anything that say Fairmount Heights, we should be at the table. Even though it's in Chapel Oaks and it's not in Fairmount Heights, it's still Fairmount Heights High School.
Also, we have money. Well, we raised the money for that school way back, when. So I do think we have some say so in it. Or personally, I feel like we have some say so in the school. So just wanted to say that.
Right. So
we did help build it.
So I do know that historical preservation has preference over that right now because it's a historical school. So maybe we can reach out there and find out what all that's going on with that.
And what we actually have, just want to comment on that. We have to make sure that we are in contact with Park and Planning concerning the status, because even though maybe in historic times we might have contributed, whatever, that's sort of gone into the flow. Right now, it's owned by Park and Planning.
Okay.
Now, they do give us an opportunity when they have those meetings. The last one that they had was at Cedar Heights Community Center, and they had calculated drawings of what they had anticipated doing. A lot of the teachers from Fairmount Heights also went to that large meeting. The things that were discussed were not what we expected, so we're waiting now for them to come forward again. So the only thing we can do now is contact Park and Planning and say, do you have any updates? Where are you planning on going with this? Because they haven't ever come back to us as to what they want to do.
Right.
So I think it's possible we could contact them with that.
That's mine.
Yeah.
The last thing that we want to cover is we have had some break-ins in the town. Cars been broken into and door handles been juggled. People going in people's cars and things like that. We just want to make sure that the people on TV and other people know that see something, say something. Call 911. The county is responsible for anything that goes on in the county. Right. Until we get us a chief and an active police department, don't deprive yourself of your safety of not calling the police because of what you think or whatever you may feel. If you think that you need to call the police, call them.
Yeah.
Call them. Anytime you think there's an imminent danger to your life or your family's life, call 911. You can call as an anonymous caller. You don't have to give them your name. You don't have to give them your address. You can just let them know the description of what's going on and just tell them that, it's an emergency. So don't be afraid to do that, because we have folks that feel like that, we don't have our own department that we can't call 911. No, 911.
We can call.
We're taxpayers. Prince George's County will come in.
Yeah.
And that's all I have to say.
Okay.
Thank you.
Well, thank you very much. I like the nature of what you said, and I wanted everyone to know also that in our area we have at least 2 Prince George's County officers that are staying in constant contact with us. The first one is Major Rickard, and he's been good looking out for us, and they've responded. They've even come here, they were here to give us as much input as they could as far as the 62nd Avenue project, and anything else they can do, they said, please let us know. And I wanted you all to know also that I did inform them about the fish fry. They said they want to be here.
Oh, yeah.
So I told them that if they can pull the chief away, bring him too.
That's right.
Because he had been sending emails back and forth when we were formulating the committee, and I think he might sort of pull away because, you know, they want to be involved in something that they think we're in some real need, and they want to come and help as much as possible. So I wanted you all to know that they said that they would definitely, they would like to participate.
And I have one more thing for Ms. Stewart to take over. Go ahead, Mary.
I wasn't taking over, I just had a question.
Okay.
Okay.
I got one more thing to say. So I did receive a phone call from a citizen that was asking, well, that's all y'all gonna have is fish down there? That's it? So I said, no, ma'am, we're gonna have fish and we're gonna have chicken for people that don't eat fish. Because some people don't eat fish.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have fish and chicken, and we're gonna have some sides and some homemade pound cake and lemon cake.
My goodness.
You know, stuff like that. Because when she called me, she was like, look, I ain't coming all the way down there just for no fish. So just let people know.
All right.
Ms. Barnhart, I have a question, and for the mayor and council. Are we donating from the council money towards this fish fry?
I would hope so.
Yeah, we didn't actually discuss that yet, so we need to think in terms of, because it is a community event.
Right.
And we need to actually designate what
fund
we
that should
could
come
do
out
as far as funding. I don't know what your budget is, but we need to get together and talk about it.
Okay.
Okay, and we need to do it as soon as possible.
Yes, ma'am.
How much
So
do
we
you
can
think
put
you
it-
would need from the town, just so we'll know where we?
Well, see, we won't know until we
I'm
actually
asking
have
him
a
how much.
sit down.
No, I'm asking how much he thinks he would need.
She's right, we don't know right now.
Yeah, we're gonna need to have a sit down because, you know, now the cost of food is up.
800 maybe?
Well,
to
we
$1,000?
didn't say. Let's talk, and then we can come up with some kind of common figure so that we can.
If the town want to drop $1,000, that's fine. But one thing I just want to be understood is this: this is a community event, and whether who donates or who doesn't donate, the Citizen Association will cover it.
The town will do our part.
I know you will. I know you will. It's a community
we
event.
just need to get something formulated, and it's not. Well, I'm saying that we will talk, and that's just me and Mr. Barnhart, and then we'll figure out something, and then if it's fine with you all, we'll just filter it on down, unless you all want to be in on the amount of money that we put in now, because we're not going to be just dilly-dallying around. We got to make a decision, because they're going to need to buy food and do everything. You know what it takes to do a big event.
Oh, yeah.
So
yeah, that's why I was asking the question.
dilly-dallying back at you all.
Yeah. And we would have food handlers license for people that has concerns.
Yeah, that's true, because you have to have that.
COVID is still out here, we got the flu out here, so we want to make sure that everybody is protected and healthy. We're going to have gloves, masks, hand sanitizer. We will have the food handler's license displayed, so when people come out there, they know that their food is handled with care.
Okay, I like that.
Thank you.
All right, yes, sir, Mr. Ping.
I just wanted to piggyback on something.
Yes, sir.
Said about the public safety and people breaking in cars.
Yes, sir.
One of our residents across the street today, he pulled up on me and said that he and I think his wife noticed somebody going through the parking lot, coming over that fence off of Jefferson Heights Drive. I don't know, Ms. Walker got an estimate for, I think the company did the fence at Ebony Inn to fence in the parking lot. He said that they're trying to take off these catalytic girls.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they've been hot on those.
So he said they come over that fence on the backside where nobody can see them. And nobody's going back in there at night.
Yeah.
It's not, you're having a nice back there.
Oh, yeah.
That's something y'all can discuss.
Ooh.
He's right, because them cars just sit there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Cadillac converters.
Yes, you're right. And they'll
cost
steal
money.
them. They'll steal them.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so we need to definitely get on that. Oh, boy. Something all the time. Okay, is there something else for the good of the organization? And yes, ma'am, would you come forward? Okay.
Good evening. In the aftermath of having the town clear the tree from the back of my home, we discovered some other issues. And my husband and I, we've hired a contractor. So I'm actually here tonight to ask the permission and authorization from Councilwoman Wood Dotson for access to her property so that we can continue cleaning from her area down to my neighbor to the right of me in that alley area.
Okay.
Why would you have to come in my yard to go in the alley?
Because there's a tree that's going over into your yard from half of it's in my yard and half of it's in the alley.
Could knock on your door now.
Okay, but what's coming in my yard is coming from the alley over. And you can-
Exactly.
What I'm saying, you can cut it from the alley, just to light
The answer is no.
them.
The answer is no.
Yeah, I don't know, I don't want you in my
Okay,
yard.
thank you.
Oh, boy. Okay, all right, we're going to,
personal.
Yeah.
I think that we have been working things out well here, and we've had the opportunity for everyone to speak. And at this time, I will accept the motion
Can
for
I say something
adjournment.
before we make the motion to adjourn? It's very, very quick. I just want to say thank you. And man, don't look at me like that. On
Yes, you can.
behalf of District 24, I would like to say to the members that are here and those that are there and those that are on Zoom, man, thank you so much for your vote. I was re-elected into the principal council.
All right, okay, great.
Further represent our community and others. So I just wanted to close this meeting out without publicly in Fairmount Heights thanking my community for your vote.
All right. Well, thank you. Thank you and congratulations to you. All right, so at this time, I'll accept the motion for adjournment.
I'll make the motion to adjourn.
Can I get a second on that?
I second.
It's been properly moved and seconded. We adjourn. All in favor? Aye. Thank you. The ayes have it.
Amen.